What's up guys, my name is Liam, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Razer Cobra HyperSpeed. They're able to get the pricing down on this model a little bit more compared to the Cobra Pro. This is coming in at $99, and they're also able to bring the weight down a little bit more as well. This one is coming in around the 60 gram weight range. So in this video I'm going to be going over how my experience has been using this mouse so far, and hopefully I'll be able to help you decide whether or not this could possibly be the perfect gaming mouse for you. So let's check it out. And before we get started today, I did want to let you know that this was sent out to me. However, everything you will be hearing in this video is going to be my own words and my own opinions. Included inside the box, it does come with a USB-C to USB Type-A cable, and then it does come with the wireless receiver up to a 1000 Hz polling rate and the dongle adapter. If you were to purchase the hyper polling dongle separately, you can get the higher polling rates, the 2000, 4000, or even up to the 8000 Hz polling rate, and this also does work with their charging dock as well. So when taking a look over here at the mouse, just a general glance at it, you can see that it does have a really similar layout and design as the Cobra Pro did. Even looking down here at the bottom, just so you know, it did come with this puck in it. I did remove it. This does weigh around a gram. We'll get to that when we get to the weight and balance, and it also does kind of help out with the balance in my opinion once you do remove that. But I do believe this does have the same skate design as the Cobra Pro. I apologize, I don't have one on me in my hand to be able to compare them, but it does have the on and off button over here. This also does have Bluetooth functionality if you were to move it up to the top, or you can put it down at the bottom to enable the 2.4 gigahertz receiver. And then over here you do have a profile button. But back over here on the top, they did actually remove the rubber sides that were on the Pro. I did see a lot of people out there did either have pretty much a love or hate relationship with those. So this is now just the same type of a plastic filling that you get up here on the top. I don't believe there is any type of additional coating on this mouse. It does just feel like it is the same type of a textured plastic that does come on the original wired Cobra, I do believe. But aside from that, everything about the integrity on this has been feeling pretty good. You do get just a little bit of creaking noises if you're to squeeze on this really hard, but I haven't noticed any personal issues that I've come across. It does still have like these cutouts in the shell, and it does feel a little bit weird in the hands when I just start first using this again. And the way I grip it, this little notch up here is give me a little bit of annoyance, but nothing too big of a deal once I actually did get used to it. Another change that they did make to this is, although this does still have RGB, it doesn't have as much RGB as the Pro version did, where the Pro did have the RGB on the scroll wheel as well. This one, you're just pretty much getting it near the rear side of the mouse. I'm not personally really a fan of RGB myself. I do tend to leave it off. That way you do get some extra battery time. The one thing I will say about the battery on this mouse is, even though this is a bit of a lighter version compared to the Cobra Pro, they actually do rate this as having a little bit longer of battery life, coming in around 110 hours, and I do believe that is with a 1000 Hertz polling rate. For the switches on mouse 1 and 2, this is actually using their brand new Gen 4 optical switches that were just featured inside of the brand new Death Adder V4 Pro. And the click implementation on this has felt pretty solid. Again, these Gen 4 switches, they do feel a little bit lighter than the previous Gen 3 switches. And also on top of that, I do feel like they have a quicker rebound to them, so they do feel like they're a little bit quicker as you are clicking on them. But the implementation on this has been pretty solid. It's pretty standard stuff. You get a little bit additional play up here in the front, but clicking in the middle, you don't get a whole lot of pre or post travel. Pretty solid on the clicks. I do feel like if you're to click back here, the clicks do get just a little bit heavier compared to the front, but nothing too bad. But everything about the build on clicks 1 or 2 for me felt pretty solid. I'm not getting any major left to right or anything like that. The one thing I will say about these switches, I've seen people talking about them, they do have a pretty pingy sound to them, and they are on the louder end, but I'll go ahead and drop the click sound test here just a little bit. Another upgrade that this did get is this is using their optical scroll wheel. I've really been enjoying the optical scroll wheel on both this and on the Death Adder V4 Pro. Excuse me. It does have nice defined steps. I personally haven't noticed any accidental scrolls or anything as I've been using this new optical scroll yet. So yeah, the tensioning on this feels good. You can spam the center scroll wheel nice and easy, so it feels really good. They also do have a button right here in the middle, and they do refer to this as the AI Prompt Master. This will pull up something like ChatGPT on the fly through the software, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate that to you guys once I do get into that setting. But then over here on the side buttons, everything about the side buttons on this mouse have honestly feeling pretty spot on for me. Even clicking back here from the rear, I don't get any noticeable play on the pre-travel, even here in the center. So clicks are really solid. Once you do click it in, a little bit of post-travel there, not a whole lot. You do hit a solid wall back here. And as you can see, I'm not getting like any type of major teetering or anything on the side buttons. So everything about the build quality on this, on my unit, felt pretty buttoned up. So let's just go ahead and we'll jump right into the click quality sound test. All right, so now for the moment of truth, one of the things that I was most excited to see about with this mouse, the balancing on this does feel pretty good. I do feel like it does feel like it's a hair back there to the rear, but with that puck out there, you honestly don't really notice it too much, especially in your gameplay. So with these bigger skates installed on here that do come on out of the box, looks like we got it coming in at 59.6 grams. If we were to go ahead and throw the puck on here as well, like I was saying, about a gram, puts you up to, oh, actually 2 grams, puts you up to 61.6 grams. To make adjustments to this mouse, you will need to do so through the Synapse software. I'll go ahead and click on the mouse here. Here is the customization button option. This middle button that I was talking about earlier, if you were to actually press on this just once, it will cycle through the DPI. But if you were to do a long press, it is where it does bring up the AI prompt master. I'll go and press that right now. And as you can see here, it does bring up the engine here. You can choose between ChatGPT or Microsoft Pilot if you did want to go ahead and use that. Next up over here on the performance tab is where it does have the different sensitivity options that you can set up for your DPI. I normally just leave this turned off and use my normal DPI. Over here is where you can adjust the polling rate. Again, I do have the hyper polling dongle connected to this mouse. Otherwise, you'd only be able to go up to 1000 hertz polling rate. For the lighting tab, right now I do have the brightness on generally, or the entire time that I do use this, I do keep this off. I just have it on right now because I'm going to go ahead and do some B-roll to show you guys what it looks like with the RGB lighting on, and I'll also probably keep it on as I'm taking a picture of my thumbnail. Next up over here in the power settings is where it does allow you to control the sleep mode. And then on the final tab is where you can adjust the liftoff distance. All right, guys, so that about wraps things up on the Razer Cobra HyperSpeed. And I really have been enjoying just about all the changes that they have made on this compared to the Cobra Pro. I do feel like getting this weight down is a lot more in the type of a weight range that I do prefer. Obviously, I do kind of wish that they would have got it down a little bit more. And when I did hear about this announcement from Razer earlier on, when they were setting me up to get this to review, when I heard the word hyperspeed, I kind of was assuming that it was going to be basically the same thing as the Death Adder V3 hyperspeed, where that one doesn't have any RGB. I do believe, if I remember correctly, that did have the coding on it and stuff like that. So I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a version in that direction. And even though the Viper V3 Pro is still without question one of my favorite gaming mice out there, I really wish that Razer would give a lot more attention to their smaller mice. When I just recently reviewed the Death Adder V4 Pro, I did mention how I wish that the Death Adder V3 hyperspeed, which is a smaller version of the V4 Pro, I wish how that did get the same treatment that the V4 Pro did, just with the top of the line flagship sensor coming with the 8K receiver out of the box, and just everything about the feeling of it, I wish basically was mirrored onto it. And that's just basically exactly how I feel about this mouse. Even though I do really like it a lot, I do kind of feel like it's sitting in a spot where it's between the Cobra Pro and the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, though I really do like the Signature Edition a lot. Again, I would really like to see this mouse maybe get rid of the designs on this come out with a coating like the Viper V3 Pro, get rid of the RGB and everything, just try and make it a little bit more lightweight, and that would pretty much be one of my dream gaming mice out there in the future. But aside from that, the product that they did deliver to us here, like I said, I've been liking it. I wish it was a little bit lighter, but I'm sure in the modding community, probably going to see some lighter bases down there. But just picking this up out of the box, it's been gaming great, feeling great. I do feel like this is probably my favorite shape to ever come out from Razer, and a lot of people that I do talk to out there I know feel the same way. So it's nice for them to get us a wireless version of this that is going to be a little bit on the lighter end, and that I have been enjoying gaming on a lot more. So if you guys do have any additional questions or feel like I left anything out, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have enjoyed watching this video and are interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, please drop this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.